Hi, family. So, about an hour ago, it was either a flash vision or it was a memory. It was of me as a child in a group of other children. I was looking at my hand, my arm, held straight out of me. It was pointing to the flag. And I was saying the Pledge of Allegiance. So I came and I looked up, how the Pledge of Allegiance was done. And this is what I found. The Peculiar History of the Pledge of Allegiance. Updated 9:06 a.m., Monday, December 23rd, 2013. Southington, Connecticut school children pledged their allegiance to the flag in May 1942. 71 years ago, December 22nd, 1942, Congress got the United States out of what had turned into an unexpectedly embarrassing situation. It concerns the Pledge of Allegiance, specifically something called the Bellamy Salute. Most people today have likely never heard of it, but the Bellamy Salute was once a constant part of the country's life. Until 1892, there was no such thing as a Pledge of Allegiance. Daniel Sharpford, the owner of a magazine called Youth's Companion, was on a crusade to put American flags in every school in the country. He sensed that the U.S. needed a boost of patriotism. Keep in mind, not even 30 years before the Civil War had still been raging. The unity was a fragile concept. National unity was a fragile concept. As part of the campaign, Sharp gave an assignment to a member of his staff, Francis J. Bellamy, who was an author, a minister, and an advocate of the tenets of Christian socialism. Sharp asked Bellamy to compose a pledge of allegiance to the flag. Bellamy wrote it, and it was published in the magazine. It didn't take long for the pledge to become wildly popular, even omnipresent. At schools, at campgrounds, at public gatherings, in Congress, people routinely faced the flag and pledged their allegiance to it. Because inherently there is something physically awkward about people simply standing in place, their arms hanging limply by their sides, staring at a flag and reciting a pledge, it was decided that devising a salute would be appropriate. Instructions for carrying printed on the pages of the Youth Companion came to be called the Bellamy Salute, in honor of the pledge's author. The Bellamy Salute consisted of each person, man, woman, or child, extending his or her right arm straight forward, angling slightly upward, fingers pointed directly ahead. With their arms aiming stiffly toward the flag, they recited, "I pledge allegiance." For a while, the salute wasn't especially controversial, but as World War II was forming in Europe, and Italians and Germans began saluting Benito Mussolini and Adolf Hitler with extended arm, Heil Hitler-style gestures, perhaps you can see the problem. In the United States, there was a growing feeling of discomfort that when people within the nation's own borders pledged their right arms extended to allegiance to the flag, they might be construed as inadvertently showing solidarity with the fascist regimes across the ocean. Richard J. Ellis, in his book, To the Flag, The Unlikely History of the Pledge of Allegiance, wrote that the similarities in the salute had begun to attract comment as early as the mid-1930s. You know what else I remember? And I don't know if it's the vision or if it's a memory, but I remember they said, face the flag, and then point at the flag with your right arm and hold all your fingers flat and down to the ground. And then they said, now put it over your heart. But that's how you did it. You just didn't put it over your heart. You held your arm out first, and then you put it over the heart. I don't know if they were still doing that when I was a kid. I was, kindergarten, it would have been 1968. Okay, keep reading. It wouldn't be terribly difficult to crop the American flag out of photos of the U.S. citizen reciting the Pledge of Allegiance without the flag in the shots. The photos would be mischaracterized as proof that Americans were expressing support for the ideologies of Hitler and Mussolini. Thus, on December 22nd, 1942, Congress, just before its Christmas break, took care of it. On that day, the amended flag code was passed, Section 7 of which decreed that the Pledge of Allegiance should be rendered by standing with the right hand over the heart. And with that, it became official. Those millions of extended right arms were brought down. The stiff arm salute was for other people in countries far away. It was purely symbolic, of course, but symbols are powerful. Over the years, there have been various disputes about the Pledge of Allegiance, the most basic of which is the question of whether citizens should even be expected to publicly pledge their allegiance to their country. The United States was founded on ideals of freedom, and freedom includes not being forced or cajoled by peer pressure into publicly declaring any belief. The exact wording of the pledge has changed several times since Francis Bellamy wrote it. Each change was reflective of contemporaneous concerns about the meaning. For example, I pledge allegiance to the flag was originally, I pledge allegiance to my flag. The my was dropped out of worries that recent arrivals from other nations might be seen as pledging their loyalties to the flag of the country of their birth. The most significant change in the wording came in 1954, when the enthusiastic support of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the phrase "under God" was added just after one nation. He added "under God." Wow. Eisenhower declared, "In this way we are reaffirming the transcendence of religious faith in America's heritage and future. In this way we shall constantly strengthen those spiritual weapons which forever will be our country's most powerful resource in peace and war." The wording of the Pledge of Allegiance may or may not be changed again in centuries to come. But it's a pretty safe bet that the Bellamy Salute is never coming back. Oh boy. Once ubiquitous and unquestioned, it has become a faded and mostly forgotten bit of U.S. history. All because 71 Decembers ago, I just got goosebumps, a solution to a quandary no one could have anticipated when the pledge was written, was formalized. Lower those stiff arms, bend those elbows, direct those palms inward, and take them to heart.